Florida.
Nobody.
I was trying to.
Had a great time.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Real Story with Nathaniel. Our guest tonight is
Provocative vibes with a cinematic glare. Fearless, no making, he's got no hair. Unapologetic, he speaks from his soul. If controversy knocks, it won't slow his roll. Box and bell rings, critics step back. He's swinging with a script and a boom mic attack. Independent energy, rebel on a roll. When the cameras start rolling, it's Uwe Boll. Champion of the world. Look at him. Unbelievable. What a fighter.
Uwe Boll. Welcome to the show. I hope you liked your AI intro. I know that you hadn't seen it before we went live.
I wish I had that body still. Like when I was
You don't have to tell people.
I still had it, but not anymore. That's for sure.
That's the beauty of AI. You can always have that body.
I know.
There you go.
It doesn't work anymore. Hey everyone, welcome to the show, The Real Story with Nathaniel. We have Uwe Boll back for his third appearance. Uwe, welcome back. It's been a long time. It's going to be a shorter interview than normal, so we kind of want to cut to all the... I want to talk about what you're doing. The last time you were here, we talked about First Shift 1 that had just come out. I just watched that and talked with that about you, but let's start off what's going on right now, right today. There's an Indiegogo campaign going on for 23 Years Later, Return to Zombie Island. And I want to kind of get on that a little bit, and then we'll talk about you have First Shift 2 coming out, First Shift 3. They're both being edited, I believe, right now, even today as we speak, and talk about Citizen Vigilante coming up. But let's start on 23 Years Later. This is a sequel to your House of the Dead movie, which I watched last night. And man, there are really a lot of fun parts in that movie. I'm not going to lie. Like your action scenes were something that people were not doing at that time. And I'm hopeful you bring back that intense 5 minutes or more of just constant chaos. What are your plans for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, the idea was when I read that the Paul Anderson guy from Resident Evil is doing House of the Dead, a new movie, a new reboot of the thing. I was not so happy because I tried to get the rights myself back from Sega years ago, and it didn't work. So I felt, okay, I need to do an unofficial sequel, and I cannot name it House of the Dead. I have to let my dog out of the door. Wait one second. The right back.
Sure.
That's a little devil door. A little devil dog. I have a big one, no noise, and a small one barking all the time. And
well, they can't be seen; they have to be heard.
And and the Indigo campaign was also to make some advertising for it in a way. And I tried that Lionsgate will, of course, join forces because House of the Dead is still making good revenues. And I was 2 weeks ago in Spain at a festival where it was completely sold out. They showed Postal, House of the Dead, Alone in the Dark, and Rampage. And
that's amazing.
Amazing festival. I had so much fun. And I can send you a little clip after. And they were really celebrating that movies. But Lionsgate yesterday told me they're not doing it. So they don't want to join forces. They don't want to co-produce it. And so now the movie maybe will not happen. And because I told them, look, guys, you can do double features. And the new one, I had all the old cast together. Clint Howard, Jonathan Sherry from Final Destination, Ona Grow, they all would come back. And I felt like, how can they not do it, especially if we can do it very, like, say, for a low price, like $2-3 million bucks. And I would say everybody now knows the original House of the Dead, and it would be kind of a competition against the new AI-driven Paul Anderson version, right? It will be the Paul Anderson, will be a lot of CGI, and I wanted to do more prosthetic effects, real action, and also campy humor. Yeah, I think he said he will make the most scary House of the Dead movie ever, and I don't think that really works with House of the Dead. I think House of the Dead is fun to play it in the arcade, and I feel like
I agree.
I think our film would actually get more traction as his film, and without spending all that money. And I'm very disappointed about Lionsgate, I have to say, because I told them also, look, guys, look at your own accounting. House of the Dead is on $34 million revenues out of North America in total, like home video, streaming, theatrical.
And that cost what, 11 to make?
8 was 8 million
8.
to make the film. And
so they made money year one.
Yes, and you have to think about it. Now, over the years, hundreds of millions of people watched House of the Dead worldwide. Otherwise, in Spain, there would nobody be in the movie theater when I went 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, now you have a way bigger audience as you would have on a sequel a year after the theatrical release was, right? So, and I think it's a feel-good movie too. It's fun to watch it, and this kind of campy humor, gory fun should be the style of the new version. We wrote the script also like this, and they're like, it's not interesting for us, and I answered like, but Borderland was in. You spend $110 million on Borderland, and $8 million revenues. I mean, why not spending $3 million now on Return to Zombie Island and making $10 million out of it? I mean, I don't get it. And
they could create their own controversy around it too. They could literally say, "Hey, watch this movie, this one." Like they could literally this is the old style. This is what do you like better? And like the press around it alone, just like, yes. Hey, we acknowledge this movie exists, and we want opinions. Invite the movie viewing public to weigh in.
Yeah, and I have to say, like business wise, I just cannot finance it all alone, right? So I would put money in, but I cannot put $3 million in. But business wise, the Canadian dollar is extremely weak. We have the same actors. We have the same locations. We get 38% labor tax in Canada back. So 3 million Canadian right now is only 2 million US. And, and we from the 2 million US, we will get, let's say, 600,000 back in tax. So we're basically 1.4 million really out of money. And in times like today, it's easy to get screens, because nothing works. Like 80% of the movies who get released bomb. So AMC, Regal, whatever, they would all play the movie because they know House of the Dead. So you don't need also to put so much money in P&A if you release it Halloween or something, So, and I think Scream, why is Scream now working? Why Scream makes their money? Because they have Neve Campbell back.
Yeah.
It's this kind of you feel the old times coming back, and I mean we have Jonathan Sherry and all these actors come back. The Chinese one, Inuga Oguma, the Tyron Latzo, Will Sanderson would come back out of retirement to play in a movie. So, I mean, how can they not do this?
I don't know. After I watched last night, I rewatched your movie because I was talking to you today, and I wanted to get a fresh. I'm like, this is ready for a sequel. The YouTube is full of people watching older horror movies and discussing them, especially of this era or the 70s, 80s, this style of movie. It's full. YouTube is full of movie reviewers talking about your movie and movies like it. Why aren't they feeding into that? Like, they don't have the Netflix, like view of what people are really, really watching, but we know that there's a huge interest in movies like this. So I don't know why they're not bringing back the guy who made it, the cast who was in it, and having fun with it, and then putting out there, listen, if you want the huge big budget thing, that's there, but check this out. This is great too. I don't get it. I was excited for you.
That's why I budgeted only on 3 million instead of 8, because first of all, we shoot digital now. It's no film material, lab cost, the editing is cheaper, the effects are cheaper. We can shoot faster because of you don't need so much lights and everything. I remembered when I watched it on the big screen in Spain again, for example, when the boat comes in at nighttime, we had a huge tower with the lights. We needed it. Otherwise, you would see nothing on 35 millimeter, right? There was not the moon. It looks like the moonlight, but of course, it's not the moonlight. It was our light. And all of this you don't need anymore when you shoot now with Alexa or something. And
did you have 2 helicopter shots in that movie too?
Yeah, also helicopter shots.
Those are nickel and drones now.
Yes.
You know, like you get all these other shots for nothing now.
Yes, and that's why I said 3 million will do it. We can do it, but I cannot do it cheaper because, as you said, we need to bring that action level. We cannot do you shoot 2 zombies and you're done. It has to escalate, right? So it has to be like, basically we felt in the script is also like you have this house what exploded, so you have the ruins of the house. The island is basically off limits, like blocked off from the border patrol. Everything is closed. But then the daughter from Jonathan Sherry will go because she was always curious what is there, and they go with a bunch of young influencers with a boat, and Jonathan Sherry is basically tracking her, right? So, and he knows, oh my God, she goes to the island. So now he gets his weapons and everything, and buddies coming in, and they're going back to the island to save the daughter and the other kids who are there to have another party, basically. So I think that would totally work because it has also this kind of funny elements in it, and you bring back Clint Howard as a zombie now, right? So stuff like this. And
Clint Howard, by the way, was the shining star of that movie. I don't know, but like at one point you made me forget he was in the movie, and then when he comes back as a zombie, like that was brilliant. I loved his whole arc in that, and I'm glad you got him back for this.
Yes, Jürgen Prochnow I didn't ask so far because he's 84. I don't know in what physically shape he is. And
he just did a movie.
He did a movie?
He just in 2025, I think he has a credit or one coming up.
Good. So no, but I didn't want to call him before I know I do it.
Yeah.
Right. I want to really concrete go to him and say, look, we need you 2 days. Captain Kirk has to come back. Right. So because it would be actually really fun. And but that's the thing, and it's so absurd, like this kind of, I really don't know the algorithm of streamers. Netflix said no, Amazon said no, and then Lionsgate is not doing it. So my only hope right now is to have other people, like real investors, saying, look, we think that can make money, and we joining forces with you doing it, basically, right? So it's not helping me if somebody buys for $50 a DVD now on Indiegogo. That's nice to have, but that's not what will move the needle.
Not the finish line.
Yes, and that's unfortunately, and I don't get it. I mean, if I would be a film producer, I would say, look, we have a built-in audience, the genre works, the marketing comes from alone, and like this kind of like, I mean, what else you want to shoot with a chance of success in today's times? And I feel like as I said, I was shocked that Lionsgate did it, and I really don't look into their brains, because they also never did a 4K, right? You never have House of the Dead or Alone in the Dark as 4K new Blu-rays or whatever. They never did it. And that's also like, that's actually a bad business movement from them.
Yeah,
I mean, of course they would sell again. Also for streaming, streamers want also 4K now. And I mean, that movies were all shot on 35 millimeters, so you have enough footage, the material to make it proper.
Now, do you have control of that footage? Like, is that in your possession? Could you get it done if you had the money to have it redo, like that sort of thing? Or do they own it? It's in their vault?
No, that's in their vault. But I asked now to give it to us for when they now passed on the movie. I said, look, I want at least one print from House of the Dead because then we can do a 4K. Or the negative, if they have the internegative would be better. But we always wanted to do it also for Europe. And we couldn't find here the English 35 millimeter version. So in Germany is a dubbed one, but I don't want the dubbed one, I want the English one. So I assume they give it to me. They give me access to it, and then we will do this. But I felt like what I saw in Spain also, Alone in the Dark looks good on the big screen, but it doesn't have that party atmosphere gene of House of the Dead. In House of the Dead, the movie theater were like they were yelling around, they had fun watching it. And that's the key. That's the key. I think a lot of horror movies in today's time, they're only competing in being more depressive. Whatever you watch, a lot of things are just scary, and there is nothing like entertaining in it. I feel House of the Dead is more in that time period also of Final Destination when that started, where Jonathan Sherry was also the lead first. Final Destination was always fun to watch, and House of the Dead too. And most of the horror movies today are so dark and bitter. But the audience, especially also on Halloween, want to watch something like House of the Dead.
We want to be scared a little bit, but we want to be entertained. There has to be fun with it. There's I agree with you. I'm not a fan of horror movies. There are certain horror movies that are just done so well. I'm interested in what they're doing, and I love that part. But I want to be entertained is the other thing. Like, if you just want to scare me, that's cool. I get it. But like, entertain me. Throw some other things. So when I do get the jump, or when I do get mortified for my soul, like, I just came from a good place where I was laughing, and then it hits twice as hard for me. Like, oh, that's really funny. Like, she's wearing a United States of America skin tight outfit, fighting like a ninja, and then something like horrible happens. It's like a nice blend from one to the next. In those movies. Come
back too.
I hope so.
Kira Clevel, she would come back too. She said already yes. And I mean, that's the thing. I have to say, we're living in this world also every day where you feel like, I don't get it. For example, I'll give you another example what's totally absurd for me too. So my Banditos doku, I think we talked about it. I did that about the motorcycle club, Banditos. So
you're unreal access to them.
Yes. And in Germany, so we came out Amazon in pay, like TVOD, like we had to pay, right? So #1 on Amazon in Germany. Now, since 3 weeks, we're #1 on Prime in Germany for documentaries. My Banditos docu, 3 weeks in a row, #1. So now I went in contact to all the other countries and Amazon, and I said, look, let's do Banditos US. Like a documentary about the Banditos in America, for example, right? No. I said there, but why not? I said, what else you want as to see we are #1? And I said, everybody would watch stuff like this. You do Hells Angels, you do Banditos, people will watch it. It's 100% success, but they don't want to do it. And you feel like that's so insane. It's all completely insane. And First Shift was 20 weeks in Paramount Plus in the top 10. Now, First Shift 2 and 3, I had to do without Paramount Plus because of the whole Skydance takeover, right? So, and Paramount Plus said, okay, when you're done with the editing, we watch it. So, but the movie was very successful on Paramount Plus. They should be more enthusiastic. I mean, other shows cost them $80 million to do, and they are in the same rank like our First Shift was, what they bought for $150,000 for a year, right? So, and I mean, that should be a no-brainer that they buy these movies for an okay price, but I'm not sure anymore. And it's really like that whole system is really rigged. It's really like kind of, I'm not Donald Trump saying it's rigged, but it is rigged. It is rigged. Like, if the program what is successful or good products coming from the wrong guy, you still don't get the deals done. They only want to make the stuff with people. They don't hate me. They would not say I hate Uwe Boll, but it looks like they don't want to make a deal with me on stuff what could be very successful. And that's the thing. What is pissing me off is like, so you have I proven made successful things, and I still have a hard time to land a streaming deal where I get my money back. Where I feel like, okay, that's fair pay for fair work. And other people, they are totally unknown. They make one show, and after one episode, they get the season 2 greenlit. And you say like, maybe you should wait till 8 episodes are out there, but they're getting the next one and the next one and the next one. And that's the injustice of the film industry right now, you know. And the thing, like, I was totally against Netflix taking Warner, but I'm also not pro Paramount taking Warner. It's like you have more and more, like, less and less people deciding what the world will see.
And they all sort of want the same thing, the safe bet, the giant money with lots of everything. And you know, like I'm just, it's impossible for the small to mid-level movie maker to really get a lot of stuff done anymore. Like, we used to live in a world where there was the big movie and 5 movies around it on that weekend, and you could choose the big movie, but there's 5 smaller ones or not as important or life-changing. And now it's like, you got to go big or go home. It has to have 18 stars and 3 people have to die tragically. And like, we can't just get a good story anymore.
No, right. And
or just for fun.
No, 100% agree. And it's like, I think we had that last time when we talked, it was really this, the quality overall of movies is going down, but it has to do also with the gatekeepers who picked that movies. You know, and because they're working all with algorithms, with computer AI, then they are scared to lose their jobs. And so now the product's getting narrowed down to a lot of times stupid stuff, cheesy stuff you watched already 100 times, or you watch something, you know how it ends, you know. And that's the thing where you feel like, even if something, as I said, with the Banditos docu, like, if you are 3 weeks #1 on Prime, without that Prime helped you, right? It was not an Amazon original what they would push. They didn't push it at all. They put it on Prime and boom, #1. I mean, that should be an indication that they should say that stuff works.
We want more of this. That should be an Amazon movie.
Yes, let's get Uwe out there making more docus about motorcycle clubs, you know, like and gangs and whatever. But it didn't. The switcher in the brain doesn't work. You know, that even if it's crystal clear in front of them, they don't react properly. And that's the thing where I have a real issue with, you know, with Lionsgate. I mean, I emailed John Feldheimer personally and Michael Burns, people like, they rule the company. They are the bosses of the bosses. And I said, look, you remember when you bought Artisan, then you got House of the Dead. There was that time where, you know, and movies like House of the Dead and Alone in the Dark made Lionsgate a mini major. You know, and then Cabin Fever. That was the first wave.
Cabin Fever was huge, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and Lionsgate and whatever were like this early days of Lionsgate 20 years ago, 23 years ago, and they made now a big company out of it. But the decisions, like when you see the movies from, the only movie from Lionsgate what made any money was that Housemaid movie with Sydney Sweeney, you know, right now. But all the other movies, what they released didn't work. I mean, you know, like, I mean, how can you give Eli Roth $110 million to do Borderland, and then you don't give me $3 million to make a new House of the Dead movie? No, that we cannot do. That's the thing. What I don't get, it's like it's really absurd. It's absurd, and yeah.
Yeah, and some of the decisions on Borderland, just like, it wasn't a good movie to begin with. They had every ability to hire a good writer. They didn't. I don't know the writer. I'm not slamming anybody in particular. But like, decisions like the voice of Claptrap. If you played the video game, that's the voice you're used to. That guy did fine. I get it. He wasn't even a voice actor when he started. But why do you have to spend all the money on Jack Black for a voice part of a character that really isn't all that important, but is to the fans? Like, decisions were made to spend money that didn't need to be spent on it in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I would rather see every penny that Jack Black got paid to do a voiceover for the voice character to just go to your movie and have a real movie made. Like, I don't know. I don't get the spending.
No, but it shows also, for me, Borderland is really a prime example also, that actors, if they get a high pay, do everything, right? I mean, a Kate Blanchett or a Kevin Hart, like people like this, they should interfere during the shoot and say, what the fuck are we doing? They would have that feeling, but no, they took tons of money. And I can imagine that they just took the money and didn't care, whatever. But also Eli Roth, who's not an idiot, he also should know the route we're going here leads to no man's land, right? So because it was not funny at all, and there was nothing in that movie. There was an empty shell, and you felt like they spent all that money for the most stupid bullshit almost ever produced. That's really one of the worst movies. And everybody says, "Oh, was the worst director ever?" No, guys. I know 10 other movies like Borderland. They are way worse as everything I ever did. And, and I mean, maybe 500,000 other trash movies got produced. But that's the thing. But that's my status quo right now, and when you like, so Citizen Vigilante, very brutal and hard movie, and it will come out in June.
I definitely want to talk on that with Armie Hammer. That's coming out in June. I've been excited about that for a while. It's been on top of my list, I think, since our first interview. Shortly after is whenever you started doing that. Since we only have a little bit of time, do you want to tell us about what the progress on that, when we could see it, what's going on, anything we need to know?
Yeah, so June, Quiver bought it. They had Run 2, and Run is also on Paramount Plus now, and Showtime, the one with Amanda Plummer and James Russo. That we talked about it. That was before, and then Citizen Vigilante, we have a trailer now, but they want to structure the trailer release. It will go to some movie theaters, but I don't know if it's only in LA or only in New York or whatever. So, but like we have like at least 20 movie theaters hopefully playing it. And I hope that the market will accept and the fans will accept Armie Hammer back.
I think it's time.
Armie Hammer has now the same problem I had for years in a different way. Every article about him starts with the sexual cancel culture, this kind of thing. All the articles about Uwe Boll always started, he got the raspberry, he's the worst director, or people say he's the worst director ever. So, and I told him that's a similar problem, that they always have to mention it, whatever they write, even if it's like behind you, right? And
even we brought up the boxing, I get it. But yeah, like I think this is a new era for you. When we started talking to you, I wasn't sure on the worst director thing, honestly. I don't know where it came from or how I even felt about you as a director. But as I did the research, as I talked to you, you make money. People give you money to make a movie, and you don't have $40 million to do all the fine detail work, to do the months of modeling, to do this. You deliver a movie that if the people say, I could do better. No, you can't. Nobody is doing better than you with the budget and time constraints you are given. You're doing amazing things. Like when I think about it, if somebody, hey, here's $4 million, go make this movie. I couldn't do what you do. And people discount that. But like they're judging it against $40 million movies. So I think it's bullshit in the first place. You're doing, I haven't done the research, but like this movie made money its first weekend. It was already profitable. But people are like saying, it's worth investing. It's worth revisiting. So I want to see that. And I think the same thing with Armie Hammer. He didn't actually do anything wrong. He was we don't need to get into it, but I think it's about time we give him a chance. Like an incredible actor that everybody loved. Let's see what happens. I'm interested. I know he can act. I want to see more of it.
No, that's the thing. He really leads you to the movie. Like he's a real star. That's the thing where I work with so many actors, and I work with so many great actors. But Armie Hammer has that screen appearance, what a Jason Statham has. He can lead you like he can be an action star. I mean, Paramount should slowly getting it also that Glenn Powell is not it, right? So I think is a good actor, but he's not Tom Cruise. Only because he was in Top Gun 2. They had that idea they make him the new big superstar like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise was, but it doesn't work. Most of the stuff he's doing bombs in comparison to the production cost. But Armie Hammer really got cut off the moment he was turning into a huge star. He was already Lone Ranger, whatever, Man from Uncle, the Death of Neil. So he was already a lead actor in huge major movies, and then the career ended. And so, but that ended when he was 35, and not like Bill Cosby, or like whatever.
Yeah, right. Like,
when their career basically got canceled when they were 80. So and then it doesn't really matter anymore. But Armie Hammer to now write him off and say, look, you were never in court, you were never in jail, you were never prosecuted, but because some girls in the internet trashed you into the ground, your life is over. It's insane. It's just fucking insane. And that's not fair from the streamers to, I had a British buyer. He wanted a Citizen Vigilante. And he said he actually was very close ties to Sky, Netflix, Amazon in UK. They all said, we're not buying an Armie Hammer film. So he didn't buy the whole movie for UK. The deal fell through. And I said, that is like, I cannot even blame him because he needed the backing to pay for the movie, right? And I felt like that's so unfair. I'm sure if we talk to Netflix or we talk to anybody, they will all officially say, we don't have a problem with Armie Hammer. And then you say, okay, then buy the movie. No, we don't want to be the first to buy the movie. But so they basically making cancel culture continue. Because nobody has the guts to say, I give a fuck. We're the first guys now who buy the Armie Hammer movie. But that's a problem in the whole film industry. They're all like scared. The independent, smaller companies all dissolving. And so you have nobody with the guts anymore in that big conglomerates who makes decisions, and that's the thing, and it will happen with Warner also. Of course, if Paramount swallows Warner, they will be all, no problem, everything continues. But when Disney bought 20th Century Fox, a year later, nobody worked anymore from 20th Century Fox. They were all fired, right? And that will happen to Warner Brothers too. I mean, they whoever bought them, Netflix or Paramount.
100%.
Most of these people will go. They will be like, we cannot pay double, so you go, and our Paramount guy will now decide what HBO will buy. That is 100%. There is no other way also to get all that money back, 83 billion or 100 billion bucks for a company what makes like 18 billion per year in sales. That's so overpaid. It's crazy. So, and I think one thing what always hurt me is that I'm not like, I kiss nobody's ring. I'm not like, I talk
Why
to
we
you,
love you.
be honest and transparent, and now I'm bashing Lionsgate. I don't care, because when they said they're not doing it, why I should not talk about it, right? So I talk about it because I'm disappointed about them, and I think they made a major mistake, and they have the wrong people making that decisions, period. If they would said, we give you $2 million, $3 million, I would told you today, Lionsgate is in, we do the movie, they made the right decision, right? And maybe that's in Hollywood, like that. I'm not part of Hollywood. That's maybe in Hollywood a no-go zone, that you talk openly about things what matter, and I never cared like about the consequences. I cannot live different as to say what I think.
I'm glad you do, because I get an insight into all of this that I otherwise wouldn't. I think you yourself are the center of a good documentary that somebody needs to make about how Hollywood actually works, how Hollywood treats even money makers who come up with win after win after win. I would like to see a documentary on you versus Hollywood. I think that is also an interesting story, because there is no reason like right now, somebody's turned down an Armie Hammer movie, but as soon as somebody says yes and it's good, they're going to be begging to sign Armie Hammer movies again. And that one guy who made that decision, nobody will remember who he was or why he said no. And it's an inevitable, it's a block between what the people want and what they want to give us. And there's no transparency in that process. I think a movie like that, a documentary about you, would expose some of it. because most people don't know how bad Warner Brothers is to work a picture through unless they're fans of comic books, and then you realize, oh, Superman sucked because of this, or they know that inside stuff, but like there's a lot going on that I think a lot of people don't know about. So I love talking to you about it.
Yeah, I mean, we have another like 20 minutes, but I will of course come again in the show too. But but I mean, we are in the post-production also first shift 2 and 3. The editing was.
I did want to ask. Yeah, how did you get to 2 and 3? Like 1 did well enough. They said 2, but you got 2 sequels out of the first one. How did that happen?
Yeah, no, that was also Paramount Plus was supposed to give us a deal. They said we send you a term sheet, and then they all got fired, and Skydance took them over. So but we were scheduled to shoot in September in New York. So everybody took pay cuts, and I got some other investors, and we just shot it, right? So, and we shot both movies together. What is, of course, it made sense for the money, because then you shoot all the police officer scenes first, and like all this stuff it was easier. And Gino Pesi, the main actor, and me wrote the script together. We got great actors like Sarah Rubinek, like a lot of people.
Oh, Saul! No kidding.
Saul's in it.
I know who that is.
Yes, and Joan Barron. So a lot of actors, Joey Russo. Then of
Joey
course,
Russo, know that name too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good actors in it. And it was very hard to shoot both movies basically in 1 month, 2 times 90 minutes. We had like 1 month shooting time only, but we made it happen. We were working very fast as usual. And the actors all were so good with the lines, right? So like a Saul, whatever, he can learn 10 pages and delivers them like 10 times in a row without a blink, because since he's 8 years old, he was on stage. So we really hired him. We were lucky that all that great actors said yes for almost no money, right? So, but because they all want that we can continue as a TV series maybe, and then they're getting.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, then they're getting a real job. So, and then I got no answer from Paramount Plus ever on anything. And then in December, Leah Bowman turned into the new Paramount Plus acquisition chef. And she was in my Auschwitz screening in Berlin years ago. And she answered me and said, of course, Uwe, when that movies are finished, we will watch them right away, right? And that makes me a little hopeful that at least we have now a real person we can talk to, and that they cannot ignore the success of the first part, why they shouldn't buy the second part and the third part. But I hope, of course, that they also say, let's continue this as an 8-part miniseries or something, that something leads out of it, that we recoup not only the money, but we also continue the story. And I mean, I think we have a great setup there, and the show works very well. The second and third part, I think, is better as the first one, but different because it doesn't play on one day. It's like this time, of course, it has a real case. There's a serial murder case I have to investigate. So the 2 parts are basically having little, like a bank robbery. Costas Mandalore is in it. Michael Paré is in it. So you have like a little things, and you have that serial murder case going over both movies and gets solved only in the end of part 3. So that works very well. I think it was very entertaining, and I'm sure if they put it up, it will be again in the top 10 for weeks.
Well, and your main actors, your leads are big name people as well. They're not like Gino Pesi and Kristen Renton. They have huge careers and big names on them. So of course, and then with your additional actors, these movies are shoo-ins for #1 slots again. I don't see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the first one. Got to ask you, did Gino's dog return?
Yes. Tango. Tango's there again. And Yeah, and this time we didn't had all this hustle with the crew or whatever. Everything works fine and smooth. There was really no problem at all to shoot in New York. Besides the normal craziness of New York, you know, I mean, you had like traffic jams and everything, and it was a funny thing. So we got for like as product placement, we got a Lamborghini to put him in the movie. Like not for free, like just for rent, right? So we drove, I and Daniel Solinger, the line producer, we drove with the Lamborghini to like East New York. We shot really in like shady things. So and then we
stand
drove,
out,
yeah, and then everybody was, all the guys were like filming us. So we were like driving, and then the police stopped us, and we're like. Okay, so you couldn't look into the Lamborghini. You had to put the window down. So we put the window down. The police officer says, because they thought we are drug dealers, right? The police officer said, like,
car like that in certain areas.
Sure. In a car like this in that part of the city, we need to stop you, right? They said, like, we need to stop you, and he said, but I had a different reason to stop you, and we said, like. What is the reason? He said, your number plates are fake. And that was the thing. We still had the film plates on.
Oh, right on.
Right, so he stopped us. He said, "What? It's a fantasy plate." He said, like, "What the fuck?" And we told him, "Oh my God, we forgot it on set to take it off, so you can just disattach." But
did you have to put him in the movie?
No, we were not filming it. But it was funny, like this moments. But there was a good thing. And think about it: you make a movie like First Shift 2 and 3, and we really tried to get some product placement, and we got nothing. Like not cigarettes, not Red Bull, whatever. Where you try like to get some money,
yeah.
Right? And the only company on the whole world said yes was Lamborghini. You think, like, how is that even happening, that you have like this super exclusive car maker they wanted to be in the movie? And I think one guy from Lamborghini watched First Shift 1 and just liked the film.
Great.
Right? That was good. That was good. So better driving a little Lamborghini for a few weeks on the film set and through Brooklyn as having no support, you know. So, but
can we have one character in your movie watching The Real Story with Nathaniel at some point? Is that possible?
100%. No, I can get your show if you want Gino Pizzi in your show or Kristen Renton.
I've talked to Gino twice. Yeah. Gino's great. We did an interview with him, and we both felt it wasn't like the greatest interview, so we just put it in the can. But Gino's amazing. I'm. And writing with you guys, he had some thoughts on writing when we were talking as well. So it's amazing to see that he's writing on these sequels as well. So yeah.
He can do dialogue 10 times better as me, right? I'm good in English to develop a storyline, and like this what will overall happen. But then we felt like this time we write all the dialogue out. And not like the first time where we basically improved a lot. And then he wrote amazing dialogue so that all that name actors basically said, yes, I want to play that, right? And that was very, very positive. And but I mean, if I shoot this year a movie, I don't know, because I counted a little on 23 years later that we do this. And now I'm a little up in the air with this, you know. Yeah.
A quick question. Are there other ways to get money for that movie? Like, say, the band on stage at the rave or whatever the party the kids are at. Can you get a lower named band that really wants to be in a movie and have them pay to play? Like, sort of, are there other ways to do it? Like, your soundtrack for the last movie was known. Like, can you actually have people like, hey, for $500, we'll put your song in our soundtrack? Are there ways to do stuff like that? I don't know if it's legal even, or if it's ethical. But I'm just curious.
The music needs to fit too, right? So I mean, you cannot just.
Well, you got to pick it. Like, you could submit it if we pick it. Yeah.
No, but you could. I mean, that's the thing where I'm totally open for proposals. Whoever hears our show here, right? Proposals for people that want to invest or coming up with product placement, coming up with products, cell phones, all this young teenage influencer guys, wardrobe, But we need also money. So I cannot make the movie because I get free Adidas shoes. So so we need really like money for this. Otherwise, I don't know how to do it. We tried to pre-sell too. We went to the companies who bought the first one, and they're all like, we're interested when it's done. Right. So, and I said, yeah, but look, guys, that's not the way how movies can get made. If I cannot just on spec do it, and then you give me 10 cents on the dollar. You need to confirm anything, right? So, and they're all like the foreign buyers market. When you go to Spain, and so the company who has House of the Dead in Spain is bankrupt, Filmax, not because of House of the Dead, but they were a long time ago bankrupt. And so a lot of these companies don't exist anymore. And then you have also the market changed so drastically that they don't want to go in any risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Risk is really, there's so much risk already right now. I think I just see the clenching of like, I want to do that, but is what I hear almost in every industry I go near. Oh, that's great. But like, we don't know what next year is going to look like. We don't know what the end of this year is going to look like. So
yeah,
I feel but hey, another thought sorry, I'm just riffing here. What if you had turned it from a festival into like a influencer gathering on the island where they're all like whole bunch of you get actual influencers, you charge them $5,000 a head to show up, and actually they can film while they're there what it's like to be on a set, but then you end up murdering them all at some point.
No, that is basically a little in the script like this. It is like this. So it's a gathering, but it's also influencers who want to report about the close-up island. I'm cool here. I made it here.
Yes,
so
exactly. And then we kill them.
Their own deaths, right? They film their own that they get eaten by zombies. So and of course,
you have digital shorts.
Yeah, and we will try to get in real influencers who have some acting talent to play this. But I don't think let's say you have a big influencer who has 10, 20 million followers. They normally want money from me to be in the movie.
Yeah, no.
Now, if I get them in the movie for free, that will be the maximum I get out of them. So they will be not like giving me money that they can be in the movie, right? So because they say, look, if I then Twitter about it, Instagram about it, the movie will be exploding, whatever. People will watch the movie because I'm in the movie. So that is what they will argue. And so that doesn't bring just the cash to do the movie.
Sure, yeah.
So that's the thing. But I mean, the funny thing is when you like, I mean, I follow other producers, whatever. There are still people, they investing in movies, like private people, and there are so many people. They're investing in so stupid movies and getting ripped off and getting like really screwed over. They get lied to, money is gone, movies not existing, all that stuff. And I felt in all that years, I don't know, maybe I'm not a great salesperson, but all my reputation is I pay my bills and the movies sell, right? So
movies get done.
I always come in on time or even under budget. And so, and I really don't know why nobody ever came and said, look, I bank you. Like it never happened. It never happened. So, and that's the thing, what is so absurd, that is like, because especially in Hollywood, I know like this kind of slimy producers who raise money from private investors, and they always betray them. And they still are living the big life in Hollywood. And you feel like, how's that even possible that these guys are able to raise all that money? And I think it's really like, whatever, they do their version of the Epstein Island. I don't know, but it's really almost like
I don't know where the money comes from. I've seen a lot of projects that just didn't.
Yes.
Like they got money and then it didn't.
Yes. Exactly. And where you feel like some people have a huge talent to swindle money out of people or to take money from investors. They convince that investors to put all that money in, and then it turns out they are total bullshit. And all that investors at one point, I think they have no holdbacks. They falling into the trap instead of talking to anybody who knows about the business and asking for an advice. But then they're totally emotional involved and put all them like 10 million in the movie, 5 million in the movie, you know, and you feel like, okay, but I could tell you all of this up front if you would ever get 15 minutes with somebody in the room who can tell you about the real possible investment return on that product, you know. So, and but it still happens. There's a lot of people who spend a lot of money in movies and they're never getting $1 back, and then they are ashamed and they don't even tell it to the people. They don't even say I got screwed over because they feel like, oh.
Well, they always have the rational way out too. If somebody does know about it, well, it didn't happen because, you know, the big flooding happened and that pushed the schedule back and this actor left and it would cost this much, so we can't do it. And they think they have a good excuse, but they sound Hollywood enough, like, ooh, making a movie's hard. But like the reality, I'm assuming is often the guy knows it's going to cost $10 million to make this picture. He'll sell it for $5 million and then wait until he gets a point. I need another $5 million to finish it, and like it's an ongoing scam. And then whenever that next $5 million falls through, the other guy's getting the story like, oh, well, the actors, you know, the flooding, there's storms. I'm agreeing with you. My first company, I had an investor or somebody that wanted to invest in my company before I was ready for it. And I had a decision to make. Do I take the money and see what happens? Or do I not screw this person over? Yeah. Like, it was that simple. Like I refused to take their money because I didn't think my company could deliver. And I don't think there's a lot of people out there like that.
No, because you are thinking things to the end, and you're similar like me in that way that we don't, first of all, don't want to betray people, but we also don't want to stress. You know, I will always tell people how the outcome can be. Even 23 years later can bomb. Right, that it doesn't make any revenues is impossible. It will make revenues, but it could make $10 million box office, and we're really making shitloads of money then in TVOD, in SVOD, and streaming additional. Or let's say it makes $500,000 box office only because it's running only over Halloween, whatever, right? So, but with $500,000 box office and an appearance in hundreds of movie theaters, we at least will get between 1 and 3 million out of streaming, you know, because then you have the brand and boom, right? So, and that's the thing. I think with the weak Canadian dollars and the labor tax coming back, with let's say 1.5 million US actually spent, the chance to not recoup that money at all in total worldwide is very low.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very low that you will lose money on it. Is it a chance you double your money? Yeah, but I don't know. Right? So I don't know. You never know. So
can't promise that.
This movie, after the first one, made really worldwide around 55-60 million bucks sales, the first one. So that this movie doesn't return 1.5 million US. That would be almost unbelievable.
I can't see how it like that's not reality with what's going on. Yes. There's a nostalgia. There's also the lack of anything like it. When's the last time you saw a fun horror movie? I'm assuming there's going to be the certain amount of nudity of the 90s or 2000s levels that they don't do anymore, like because it's too fun or boobies will kill people. I don't know. But like, there's no movie like that out now. And I think there would be the people who saw it originally would like it. And I think there's definitely, horror's huge right now, a group of young horror fans who would come to it looking for that retro sort of experience, but mixed with what we can do now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's impossible for it to make less than 5 million, honestly. Like it's period. There's enough interest in just what is he going to do, let alone what is it going to look like. So people want to know what you're going to do. And all these years later, I think that's why the title works for me. It's a long time later. What can we do with this?
Yeah, look, my biggest hope is right now, what I still think is possible is maybe I get FASM, who are owned by AMC and Regal, you know, and that they do their own theatrical releases, that they join forces with me, you know, because they have the screens and they know people will come and watch it. And that maybe that company, I've emailed them, I hope I get a response. They could really trigger that the movie makes total, because if I know the movie gets on screens, you know, then they don't even have to invest. Then I will get the money to make the movie, you know, because the $1.5 million US actual spend is not so much that I cannot get that money somehow. But they would have to agree to say, we're putting it out Halloween on 1,500 screens for a weekend, because there is no way that movie goes on 1,500 screens and it doesn't make $3, $4, $5 million box office. There's no way to it. You put the poster up, people will come.
I would walk away from whatever movie I showed up to theater for to go see that if I saw the poster of it. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, they did what? This is great.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. Now, yeah. Okay, I have to run, but we talk soon.
I hope so. It's always great talking to you, Uwe, and I want to see this. I'm probably going to go and invest on Indiegogo right now. They just a little push. I know, like, we're waiting on the bigger money, and I don't have that. I want to see this movie done. I'm looking forward to, you know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through minutes. I'm looking forward to First Shift 2 and 3. I really am. I saw the first one. I'm invested. I want to see where it goes. Citizen Vigilante coming out, you said June?
Yeah.
June, we'll have that coming out too. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on. I hope you have a wonderful week. And everybody out there watching, stay safe out there. Have a great evening.
Thanks again.
Whatever time of the world it is.
Yeah, now it's 6 p.m. here. Okay.
Noon. We're about ready for lunch. All right, Josh, get us out of here. Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Treat each other well.